I would like to invite Monali Shah. So, Monali Shah and team have been doing some really interesting work in ecological restoration, rewilding of a hill very close from here. And uh, I've known Monali for some time now. We also invited her, Swati, who was here and just left. We invited Monali for a talk. And I think it's best that we ask Monali to introduce herself and the work, including the institution, a bit more. And yeah, please. Monali, over to you.
Thank you very much. So I'm working with a association, or it's a group of people called as Dr. Garudkar Vasundhara Abhiyan, and we are doing restoration of Baner Hill. So as we all know that the open spaces in the city area, they are decreasing to a large extent nowadays, and it's very important to have these open spaces in the city. This is the area of the Baner Hill. It's approximately 150 acres of the area where we are doing this conservation or restoration work. And whole this work is done by people's participation. So my presentation is what we are doing to conserve or to restore the hill and how people are participating for that. So that will be in two parts. So this is the importance of conservation of hill. We all know that, so I won't go in detail of this. So how was the hill when we started the restoration work? So in 2006, Dr. Garudkar, he's staying just behind the hill, and he saw that the hill is very barren. And then he started, and other people joined him, and now we have a big group who are doing this conservation work. So this is the picture of the hill where it was a very barren and degraded due to the excessive grazing, fire and lopping. And there was no soil layer, there was no grass layer. There were only two trees near the temple. At the top there is a small temple, so the only two trees were there. And the rock was exposed, and as there was no soil layer, no tree cover, the whatever rainwater it is flowing off, and the surrounding areas were getting flooded, and the soil layer was also exposed. So our objective for restoration when we started the work was mainly the water conservation, soil conservation, then soil moisture conservation, increase in green cover on the hill, grassland protection, because the Pune is a type of scrub and a grassland type of ecosystem. Then the habitat development, various habitats for different form of flora and fauna, biodiversity enhancement, and also connecting citizens towards these conservation efforts. So these were our objectives. And this is the hill, it is the same photo. So you can see this is the hill in 2006, and this is the photo in 2022. So how the hill has been transformed in last 15 years. So what is the effect of this restoration work? So there is increase in tree cover of native species along with the protection of grassland, increased moisture level, and groundwater table in surrounding areas also has increased. Decreased runoff from the hill slopes, and surrounding flooding of the surrounding area has reduced to large extent. Then regeneration of flora has started, because previously there was no soil, so there was no regeneration at all, and now we can observe a lot of regeneration has started on the hill, and increase in floral and faunal diversity. So what is the procedure that we followed for the this restoration of the hill? So main first step that we did was the continuous contour trenches. As there was no soil layer, there was no vegetation, and water is flowing off. So we did the trenches along the hill all over the slopes. Mr. Takalkar, who has guided us for these trenches. And as we did the trenches, then the water flowing from the hill was arrested in the trenches and it started percolating, and then soil also, the soil erosion was also reduced, and the biomass, so grass started growing, then biomass is creating, and slowly soil is created due to the biomass. And then we started the plantation. So we did tree plantation after 2 years of these the trenches, and we started the plantation of the trees at the edge of these trenches, so that the maximum water should be available for the trees. Then also we for water conservation, soil conservation, we did the loose boulder bunds. So wherever there is a slope, wherever we find that water can get accumulate and can percolate, so we made this loose boulder bunds. So there may be around 50 to 60 loose boulder bunds which are on the hill. Then at the time of plantation, so we didn't do plantation randomly. We studied the surrounding hill, what is the flora, natural flora in the surrounding hill. Then we study different literature which is available, and according to that we also did the soil testing, and according to that we selected a plant for the plantation purpose. So it is a degraded land, there was no soil, so less soil layer, rocky area. So the trees which are suited for that type of terrain, we selected that for plantation. And also at the time of plantation, we ensure that there is a structural diversity and functional diversity. Structural diversity is the different layers of the trees and different layers of especially flora. So we have upper story trees, we have a middle story trees, then shrubs, climbers, herbs. So we incorporated all these things, and also the trees which are specially which attract specially pollinators like birds, butterflies, and bees. So we selected that trees and we planted such a tree, so that the structural diversity and functional diversity both will be there. And then we when we tested the soil, so there was a lack of organic matter and nitrogen was very less. So whenever doing the plantation, we ensure that the organic matter should be there. So we, and whatever work we are doing, we mostly we use the local material. We don't bring material which is very resourceful. So we take the leaf litter, we take the coconut fiber from the vendors, which is the waste for them, and that we used while plantation of the tree. So this is the pit which we fill with the coconut fiber and cocoa peat and leaf litter, and we use a minimum soil for all these things. Then we do a lot of mulching. So mulching is the bringing the dry leaf litter and covering the hill with that. So especially the around the trees and the open CCT areas. So that helps to reduce the temperature, that helps to reduce the evaporation loss, and also help to increase the organic matter. And this leaf litter we gathered from surrounding societies in Baner area, where that is going to be burned because it is a waste for them. So we collect them and we utilize that resources in our area. And along with this restoration, we do various different activities, like we make a tree guard to all the trees because the grazing pressure is very high, and we are unable to reduce that grazing pressure because the people who own the cattle, they are coming there from many years. So we do fire lines, then tree guards, then gully plugging. So gully plugging is majorly, you can see these are the gullies. These are the gullies. So this is a typical feature of our Sahyadri hills. And these gullies, water flow from these gullies in rainy season. So we made the series of loose boulder bunds. So every gully has like 8 to 10 loose boulder bunds where the water will get arrested, and the moisture level is high, and you can see a vegetation over there. These are very green hills, green gullies, and the vegetation also is some different kind of vegetation over there. Then some other work like habitat creation. So we make some water hole, especially for birds and other fauna. Then we make a shrubbery. So when we are documenting the flora and fauna, so we saw that there are black-nape hare, which we saw the droppings, but we never saw the hare. So we make some shrubbery over there, which will be useful for them as a habitat. And then a butterfly and pollinator garden we have made. So these are the changes which we observe so this is the figure in 2006, then 2008, 2012 and 2022. So these are the efforts by which the change has been made, and this whole activity is done by people's participation. So whatever work we are doing, whatever material we are getting on the hill, the transport of the material, digging the pits, so most of the work we are doing manually. So we are not using any JCBs or any heavy instruments, and we have not made a road on the hill, because when we make a road or when we make a proper access, then there is a lot of nuisance which is created. So that's why we are doing whole work with the people's participation. So you can see this is a chain. We mainly work with the chain method, the transportation of material, transportation of or the watering. So we do with the chain method. And then this is the digging of the CCTs. And then corporate, senior citizens, school children, and the people who are coming for the jogging on the hills, they all participate in this activity. Also, small kids, they also participate in watering work or making the buns. So they are very interested in this work. And one more thing, we encourage the citizens to maybe plant a tree. So people are more connected when they plant a tree. So maybe on their birthdays, on anniversaries, or on maybe on special occasions, we encourage people to plant a tree so that they can get connected with the hill. And some other works which we are doing for conservation. The one is the Jatropha nana conservation. So it is an endemic species which is only endemic to Pune region, and it's declining. So last year we have started with this Jatropha nana conservation with the help of students, college students. Then seed collection and the dispersal of seed. Tree census, we have done total tree census of the hill. Biodiversity documentation, from many years we are documenting the seasonal biodiversity, photo documentation, and also this year we started grass documentation. So this is what we have documented till now. So 180 species of trees and shrubs, 20 species of grasses, 76 species of birds, 60 species of butterflies, and 78 species of seasonal ephemeral flowers. So this is what we have documented till now, and we are documenting every year and seasonal documentation. And also we are conducting awareness sessions on the hills. So awareness for different conservation purposes, tree walks, flower walks, butterfly walk, and different workshops, so water hole making workshop, so that people can connect the nature and they can implement that on the other areas. So this is the another thing which we are doing. This is like people are contributing for actual conservation work, and also so they are connecting us and so they are doing some work in the other areas also. So we consult them for doing the work in other areas also. Thank you.
Thank you, Monali. We have time for a couple of questions. Shreyas at the back there.
Really very nice work.
Thank you.
I have one question, like, is this land belong to forest department?
No, this is a land belonging to the trust. There is a temple, and the
Yeah.
land is belonging to temple trust.
Yeah,
So
that's why I mean I
Yeah.
was asking about how was the cooperation from forest department. Okay, thanks.
Somebody here. Also, please introduce yourself briefly.
Sure. I came late. My name is Disha. I'm from Pune Knowledge Cluster. I wanted to know the documentation that you are doing on biodiversity.
Huh.
Is it digital and is it available maybe in future for public access?
actually, I have documented things and not published actually. So we are thinking to publish that. And now, with the help of Divanshu or with the help of Abhijit, so I think that we should do the rainfall. So we have not done the rainfall mapping, and I'm doing the seasonal changes. So according to rainfall, because I know that there is changes according to rainfall, but I have not actually measured that. So we can do that also. So according to rainfall, how seasonal flora is changing, we can do that.
Also, in terms of biodiversity changes
Yeah.
accordingly,
Yes,
like
yes.
birds and bees, how they
Yes.
migrate. Or
So
I don't
we
know.
have documented, but we have not published it yet.
You can do one thing, as you
Huh.
mentioned about measuring rainfall. On different sides of hill, you can
Hmm.
measure. At top, you can measure, because
Huh.
that will be very small experiment, but that will be very interesting. That from which side you are getting more rainfall, other
Correct.
side, yeah. So
Correct.
4 or 5
We'll
rain
do
gauges
that.
that will do.
Yes, yes, definitely.
I have one question, Monali, because you showed the trusts. You mentioned about the ownership of the trust.
Huh.
How far you are connected with the trust and how far they are agreeing to it? And are there any DP projected plans about anything happening to the hill? Because you have worked so many years.
Yeah.
So that will be my first concern question.
So yes, they have agreed for that. But yes, there is DP plan and road is going cutting the hill. So the main thing is when this type of work is with the people's participation, so we can oppose that. So there is one road going through, so that is started and we opposed, and that has been stopped. But another road which is cutting half of the hill, so maybe later on we have to fight for that. So when the people are there, a large number of people are there connected to the hill, that will be easy to protest that.
Maybe then you can also do the aquifer mapping, because quite a few number of our hills are also.
Yes, yes. That has been done by Manoj actually. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Hello, my name is Shalini, and I was looking for you before. So I teach political ecology in ISA, and this was the first time when we taught post-COVID in a physical setting. So one of the things that we intend to do, and therefore this is basically a proposal for you, for Jeevit Nadi, for Bhavtal from my side, that in political ecology we get a group of around 40 to 50 students every time. And since now I am fully focused on converting it into participation from local actors into some sort of a fieldwork engagement. So my proposal is this, that since all of you are doing this kind of work, which would require some sort of a regular monitoring and update of documentation, we would be very happy to take it as a class project. So that
Great,
way you
great.
get
Yeah.
crowd-sourced kind of a documentation every time. I also lead the Science Media Center. So at least for next 2 years, we can plan something in terms of media work as well.
Thank you. Thank you. With this, I would like to thank Monali. Thank you so much.